chooses out of his own accord, my brothers and sisters, to go to Rome, Jerusalem.
All right.
But he picks up pen and parchment and writes to the saints in Rome. And says to them, I've always wanted to get there, but I've been unable. I've been hindered from getting there. I've already and always wanted to preach in Rome, but I've been hindered from getting there. In the 16th chapter of the book of Romans, we are familiar with the fact that he knew a whole lot of people that were in Rome.
That's right.
But right there in that 16th chapter of the book of Romans, he says to them, when you get time, greet Priscilla and Aquila. That husband and wife team, they were tent makers with me. I did business with them. Say hello to Epaphroditus. Tell Mary hello. Tell Andronicus I said hello. Tell Amplius, which is a slave name, tell him I said hello. Urbanus, who is a Roman, tell him I said hello. Cinches and Apollos, tell them I said hello. And then when you get to the household of Aristobulus, tell him I said hello. He knows people in Rome. He knows all about the Roman, who he describes as his countryman. He tells them to greet the household of Narcissus, and then tell them twins by the name of Tryphena and Tryphosus. Tell them hello. Tell Persis and Rufus. Tell them hello. Greet Asyncritus and Philon, Hermas and Patrobus. Tell Hermes and the brethren Philologius and Julia. Tell Norius and his sister Olympus and all of the saints. Greet them with a holy kiss. I'm having to pause to push this into the passage. It's a holy kiss. Well, you do know a whole lot of kissing that go on in church. Holy kissing. You want to turn around and tell your neighbor if you're going to do some kissing, it ought to be holy kissing. This letter, brothers and sisters, this contribution, if you please, this letter prepares the way for Paul's visit. Paul had a strong desire to preach in Rome. Romans chapter 1, verse 15, he says to them, if I can just get to Rome. Paul is at Corinth. He sees clearly the sins that is in the world, that even in the church today. And I suggest to you today that those days are like these days. Paul says that I notice the sins of the people. They profess themselves to be wise, but they're fools. I'm not talking about nobody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be talking about what I've been talking about. I'm talking about what I've been talking about. Well, there's a whole lot of people that profess themselves to be wise, but they act a fool. Paul says we even charge with those that change the glory of God, the incorruptible God, into an image like corruptible man, birds and four-footed beasts, disobeying the first four of the 10 commandments presented by Moses in Exodus 20. Between their idolatry and their immorality, Paul saw that they needed to be saved. Now, you may get an A on some stuff, but you don't get an A on everything. Don't make me work this on. You know your own sin. You know them better than anybody. Well, let me call a few that Paul dealt with here in the text. And whenever you hear your sin, look at me and wink at me. Just let me know you're looking. Because I know you can't holler at me because you don't want nobody else to know I'm talking about you. In reality, tonight, either I'm talking to you or I'm talking about you, and I know who to hear directly which one you need. Paul says to them, he says, first of all, there's sexual immorality. Paul says there's wickedness, there's covetousness, there's maliciousness. Paul says there's envy, there's murder, there's strife, there's deceit, there's evil-mindedness. Maybe I didn't get you, but Paul says there's whisperers. Oh, I hear somebody here. Come on, help me in your feet. Paul says there's backbiters and haters of God. There are those that are violent, those that are proud. There are those that are boasters. There are those that are inventors of evil things. You got some people that just wake up in the morning and invent evil stuff. And I ain't talking about you high your name and say you're talking about somebody else. Paul says the sin, the gravity of the sin can be seen in the fact that there are those that are disobedient to parents. Those days of these days. Everybody here tonight knows some child that's disobedient to their parents. I got two children. They mine. And I tell them all the time, if you're going to stay around here, you're going to do what I tell you to do. I'm not your road dog. I ain't your friend. I'm your dog. I brought you in here. Because we're living in a time now where people are disobedient to parents. I got a scar on my nose tonight because I was talking on the telephone as a little boy. I was talking on the phone and mama, my grandmama's sister who raised me, asked me who I was talking to, and I said, Mama, that ain't your business. That's what I said too after I left here. Lived on my street, disobedient to parents. There'll be those that will be undisciplined. There will be those that will be untrustworthy. There will be those that will be unloving and unforgiving, unmerciful. They want mercy, but they ain't gonna give mercy to nobody. Come here for a minute. I ain't talking about people that are at the club. I'm talking about people that are part of the church. And Paul says they know these things are wrong, but they give an amen to even those people that practice these things, knowing that they are worthy of death. Paul concludes by saying and suggesting we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Paul concludes there is none righteous, no one. Oh, I hear you protesting tonight by the lack of amen. That the elevators are going out. Oh yeah, you got some stuff wrong with you.
Man, Doc.
I know you don't want nobody to know, but just help me out for just a little bit. I'm talking about the person next to you. Holler back at me. Something wrong with you. You gotta stop looking at what's wrong with everybody else and start looking at what's wrong with yourself. If you get down here and tell your neighbor, I got some stuff wrong with you.
Got some stuff wrong with me. Man, amen.
I'm sorry for the glory of God. It's not y'all have sinned. It's all have sinned. There's not righteous, no, not one. Paul knows that like the Gentiles, even Israel was in need of salvation. And I want to suggest to you tonight that there are still some people who are in church that need to experience a salvific experience.